Okay, music. I'm here to talk to you about music, which is a subject that excites me greatly. Those of you who know me will know how passionate I am about the music in school. For those who don't know me, my name is Mark Rolfe. I am the extracurricular music coordinator in the senior school. And it's a job I've been doing in school for many years. I've been at the school in many job titles for 21 years. This is certainly the most exciting period over my 21 years I've known the school to be. The school is in a period of absolute excellence and commitment and excitement and diversity. And it is truly an exciting time for your daughters to be making music with us. We have a commitment to excellence. We have a commitment to musical diversity. That is really, really, really important. Many schools, especially this the old stereotype that independent schools in particular just have a classical music department. That is important to us, but I think we are also truly invested in diversity. So we're going to be celebrating classical music, pop music, rock music, music technology, electronic music, world music, music from all around the world, from a whole different set of ethoses and ideologies. So all music is important for us, and that is really our our thing at school. That's the thing that we celebrate and preach the most. Is let's be diverse. We're also, as well as being committed to excellence, we're truly committed in trying to make music as fun and as accessible as possible to everybody. It's really, really, really not a competition. It's not about the best of the best. It's not about the highest grade. It's about those who want to take part, those who want to create, those who have something to share. And I think that's the sort of DNA of what makes up our music department. Okay, so we can split music up into two sections here. I'm mostly going to talk to you about extracurricular music because that's my thing. But obviously, like all subjects, there is also a curricular music program in school, which is a part of the year 7 timetable. Your daughters will be having a 1 hour lesson once a week with a music specialist as part of their curriculum. Um, I will talk about that a little bit at the end of the presentation, but what I really wanted to talk to you about today is all of the extra opportunities that's on offer at NGHS in year 7 and onwards, and what makes us really special and something to be extremely proud of. Okay, so what is extracurricular music? Extracurricular music is anything from your daughter's one-to-one tuition, which they may choose, it's not compulsory, to sign up to take with a team of specialists. So we offer lessons in absolutely everything I can think of. If there's something we don't, we will investigate bringing it in. Um, Obviously, piano. Piano is very, very popular. We've got 3 full-time piano teachers now teaching piano 4 days a week, half an hour a week. We offer tuition in every instrument I can think of, from every rock band to orchestras to jazz bands, from tenor saxophones to bass flutes to bass guitars to tuned percussion to drum kit. I really do think we offer it all. And again, if there's anything we don't, it's something we'll always be looking at to bring somebody in. We have 2 full-time voice teachers. Voice lessons at school are absolutely they're absolutely magical. There's something we're so proud of. Just look online at some of the choir work we've done. The girls are so invested in vocal music at school, and they find it as a way to truly express their feelings. And it's something that's very, very, very precious to the music department is our voice students and our choirs. We do offer music theory. Theory is important to back up the foundations of any instrumental study. And of course, music technology. The school is really invested in technology, and so is the music department. It's hugely important to us. All girls are going to have their own iPads, and we're going to be encouraging them of ways to create and write and arrange music on their iPads. Okay, so how do we go about these lessons? So first of all, if you're in the junior school, you don't need to do anything. If you've already got a contract with a parent teacher, you've signed up and you've started your lessons, they just go into year 7. They just carry on as normal. The timings may change, which I'll come to in a second. But you don't need to fill any extra paperwork in. Your tutors will just get in touch in September, as they would at the start of every term, and lessons will continue. If you're new to school, great. Can't wait to meet all of your young inspiring musicians. You'll just need to contact the admissions office, or you can always email me, which I'll make sure you've got my email address at the end of the presentation, to say that you want your daughter to start lessons in this, or you want them to continue lessons in this, or if you just want to inquire, you know, how do I get my daughter involved in trombone lessons, or how do I get involved in a guitar club? So just go through the admissions office or contact me directly, and then we'll be in touch with you about starting lessons in September. So that's the peripatetic lessons for one-to-ones, as we say, sometimes in groups, but mostly one-to-one. I should just mention the timetable, because that is one thing that's going to change for my existing junior school parents as they venture into year 7, and for those new to school. So obviously our peripatetic staff are there all day. We're there before school, we're mostly there after school, and we're mostly working through lunch and break. So there are only enough hours in the day for us to teach our peripatetic lessons in those times. So the before schools, the lunch times, the after schools, they're typically going to be allocated to girls who are studying for GCSEs and A levels, which in the junior school you might find it's a little bit different. So when you get to the senior school, they take the priority, and you will completely appreciate that when your daughter is studying for the GCSEs or A levels, but you don't want them to miss lesson time. So what that means is year 7, year 8 and 9, typically, and there are exceptions to this, will go onto a rota-based system. Now on the rota, they will be missing half an hour of an academic lesson once a week, and that academic lesson they are not allowed to miss more than twice in a term. So it's only 1 hour out of an academic lesson for the entire term. So we try really, really hard to make sure we're not pulling girls out of core subjects, and certainly we are absolutely committed to not pulling girls out of the same lesson for more than 1 hour per term. Now, there are exceptions to this. So if you apply for something such as piano or voice, or your daughter takes guitar lessons or flute lessons, these are typically some of the instruments which are really, really oversubscribed, and we have an enormous amount of our GCSE and A-level students studying these instruments as well. So your daughter may be asked to go on that rota. For instruments that are slightly less oversubscribed due to the rarity and the uptake in them, such as bassoon, saxophone, brass instruments, some tuned percussion, there may be a slot available on the rota for the year 7s should the year 10, 11, 12s and 13s not take those. I know it all seems really, really confusing, but just talk to me, talk to your instrumental teacher. We'll work our hardest to make sure you get a lesson time which you're really happy with. The girls don't need to worry about. The girls are so intelligent and focused and well supported at school. I know the head makes a really, really great point of encouraging girls not to panic if they miss half an hour of a lesson once a term. You will catch up. These are bright girls. So that's when you're going to be taking your music lessons, mostly on a rota. If we can get you in on the lunch times before schools, after schools, we will try as well. Okay, so my next slide is going to talk to you a little bit about the team that makes up a team that I'm incredibly proud to be part of. We are a close team, we are a diverse team, we're a hardworking team. We have Chris Nicklin, who is our overall director of music for the entire school. Many of you, that's her in the picture. Many of you will have come across her in the junior school already. She oversees the entire program, so she's my boss. I work for her as the extracurricular coordinator, as I explained at the beginning. So that is anything to do with peripatetic lessons, clubs, concerts, anything that girls are doing outside of the classroom. So that's going to fall under my responsibility. We then have Emily Lawson, who is a teacher of classroom music, and she also is heavily involved in the clubs and the concerts as well. We've then got an amazing team of specialists, many of which are there 4 days a week, some which are there 1 or 2 days a week. And it's just growing and growing and growing. So in the last year, we've brought in an extra strings teacher and an extra woodwind teacher. And we are a lovely, lovely, dedicated, hardworking team. Just looking through that list on here, I can see that we've got members of really, really established orchestras, nationwide orchestras. At least 5 or 6 of our members of staff coach at the youth orchestra as well. Many of them are members of international bodies and have just some really, really exciting backgrounds. I can't wait for you to meet them all and start to get working with them. They are a truly inspiring bunch to work with. So your daughters are going to be in great hands with their instrumental teachers. And also these teachers listed here are going to be the ones running the clubs and the bands and the concerts, which I'm going to start talking to you about, which I think is my next slide. Yeah. Okay. So opportunities. And this is where things start to vary a little bit more if you've been in the junior school. Things change a little bit more as you get to the senior school because there's just a lot more of it and there's a lot more opportunities, and some of the DNA or the programming of how we put these events together is configured a little bit more differently just to make it even more inclusive. So looking down that list, I've put a couple of things in bold, but let's just go through there. So you can see that we have bands and orchestras from year 7 upwards, and we will find a club which typically happen at lunch times before school or after school to suit anybody. So one of the things I think we do really well as a school is we don't just buy music off the shelves. We sit down and we write music to suit the needs of our players. So we can have a place in an orchestra for a violinist that's been playing for a term alongside a girl who's done her grade 8. So the pure ethos of being inclusive and having girls involved and playing together is really important. So we've got our orchestras, we've got our swing bands, we've got our year group bands, which are put in bold. They're really exciting. So if you followed the music department on Twitter quite a lot, you see we have little year groups bands. We have a year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10, 11, year 12, year 13 band. And each one of these, they meet together once a week and they typically play pop music, rock music, modern music, put it together themselves, and we do a big concert once a year. And there is absolutely no entry level for these, and we really, really encourage girls to come along who have an interest in composing or songwriting, or maybe if you just know 3 or 4 chords, you know, they want to get involved in a band. These are great fun, and something that I think really is a unique thing of a school, and absolutely anybody can join those. We have a lower school combo, which is a band for year 7, 8, and 9. Our flute teacher, Gilly Quine, is extraordinary, and she has 3 different flute choirs, which are just a choir of all different types of flutes. We have a school bass flute, an alto flute, a soprano flute. It's just really, really fascinating what she does with that. So if you're going to take up flute, you're going to end up in one of those for sure. Single reeds, we have a string orchestra, string quartet, we have a music technology club, we have a jazz band, string cube. Now the musical, lots of our year 6s, and I'm sure girls coming from other schools will be very fond of performing in school musicals. What's different in the senior school as opposed to the junior school, or what you may have been used to as a typical model in other junior schools, is our senior school musicals involve everybody from year 7 to year 13. So, and you audition for those right at the start of the year. So we've just done Beauty and the Beast, and we had a whole group of amazing year 7s taking part of that, one of them in a principal role. And that's every year. So if musicals are your daughter's thing, then that's something they can get involved in year on year. And this year, well, the coming school year, you're going to be taking part in Les Mis. And if you've seen the space and you can picture it in that outstanding venue, it's going to be a real spectacle and something else to be proud of. We have a year 7 choir for the first term. This is something we've been doing for, I think this is our 4th year. So the girls, all of the girls in year 7, we put them together in a choir, and you're going to come across the problems. I can't sing, I'm not confident to sing. But everybody's together, everybody's on the same level. So we put you all together in year seven for a choir. And it's really just an icebreaker. So you can do a whole fun activity together for a term and see if perhaps choir is something that suits you. And after that, you can go on to singing main school choir, which you can at the same time as well, right from September, which is a really, really, really just exciting, contemporary, vibrant group which runs once a week. We've got steel pans. We've got annual tours. We're trying to do a tour at least every 2 years. It may go to every 1 year. This year we're looking at doing a residential weekend somewhere in the UK. The year after we're looking at doing something far more exciting abroad. The Wimblow's Cup is a house music competition. We've started in the junior school like 8 or 9 years ago. It now runs in the senior school for years 7 and 9. So it's how girls can use their instrumental skills to get house points, and there's trophies and certificates and all sorts of fun things you can gain from taking part in that. That runs once a year. And finally, scholarships. From year 10 onwards, you have a chance to apply for a full music scholarship, which is a 10% off your fees. And that's generally something that you're working towards in year 7, 8, and 9, and seen as a reward for those who have committed to the music department throughout those few years. So there is a lot of opportunities, and I'm always excited and passionate to talk to parents about these. So please get in touch if you want me to expand on any of those at all. Working together. I think in schools there's always been this everybody wants their department to shine. We want our girls to love music. We want them to fall in love with music and fall in love with creating and performing and being on stage, or not being on stage and just composing and writing. But we are realistic that there are other things that go on at school. And I think when girls hit the senior school, all of a sudden, it's like there's so much more going on. So I'm really proud to say that the director of sport, she's a really, really great friend of mine. And we work really, really hard together to try and make sure the girls are not pulled in too many different directions. There are going to be clashes. Sometimes there are going to be chances when you've got to choose between band or netball once a week. But we work really, really hard together. I work so hard with Mrs. Hall to make sure we come up with a program where we avoid these clashes as much as possible. We don't want girls having to choose between music, sport, drama, arts, crafts. We want them to try and have access to everything. So I can honestly say that each year when we've gone through this, had this huge planning meeting with the director of sport and with the drama and with all the people who run clubs, and we try and make sure everybody has a chance to attend a music club at least once a week, but in many cases 4, 5, 6 times a week. So we really, really don't want to pull you in directions. We don't want you thinking, I've got this loyalty to the sport department and I've got this loyalty to the music department. So we try to be considered. We try to be balanced. We try to be realistic. We try to work across any problems that arise. And so far, although the current year 7, the year's been cut a little short due to what's going on, we've had a really, really wonderful year. Everybody has managed to do all the music clubs that they want to and all the sports clubs that they want to. There's been the odd fixture where we've had to cancel a club, and there's been the odd concert where we've had to cancel a fixture. That happens in a school that's working so hard to do the best opportunities for your daughters. But we really are going to work really, really, really hard to make sure your daughter's not coming home thinking, I want to do this and I want to do this, but it's all at the same time. We really will help you work through it. Okay, last thing, academic music. I just touched on it at the start of the presentation. So girls will have a weekly class with a whole class music lesson with specialist staff in year 7 to 9. The curriculum, again, is really diverse. It's really exciting. It includes a lot of technology. You can use a lot of iPads. It includes a lot of classical music, includes a lot of pop music. a lot of creativity, and really this is a ideal opportunity for girls who are not uh, very far so advanced in instrumental studies to shine, because music can also be academic, and for girls who have an interest in technology or creativity to shine. So that really, really is an important hour a week we're going to be spending with academic music teachers, Mrs. Lawson or Mrs. Nicklin, to work on some more academic side of music. And that happens once a week for a full hour. And there's lots of performance opportunities involved in that too. Okay, so that is the music department. I'm very, very, very proud to talk about it. I'm very proud to work for the school. I'm very proud of the school's commitment to diversity and excellence. And it's a truly lovely place to be. And I can't wait to see all of your daughters in September. Please get in touch. I love to talk about music. Okay, thank you.